What is up, guys? I'm back again. You already know. You already know we're back. Today's topic is: can KSI ever beat Mr. Jake Paul, the problem child? Can he whoop his ass one day, or could he not? We'll see. But yeah, Jake Paul is right now known as the greatest influential boxer to this day, present day. Back then, I think KSI was the best. After he beat Logan Paul, KSI was the top dog on the top floor. Ever since that day, influential boxing has changed in 100 different ways, man. We thought that was it. We thought KSI was the top dog. Jake Paul fought Gibb, destroyed him in one round, and we were like, okay, this fight is gonna be amazing when they fight Jake Paul and KSI. This fight's gonna be amazing. Uh, Time ticked. KSI took a big break from boxing. Man went to do music. It's okay. You don't have to just do one thing. It's if you really like music, you should go do it. So my man went to go do music. Jake Paul said, you know what, I'm gonna get better at this. Jake Paul dropped everything he was doing. Like, he didn't put a lot of 100% effort into anything he was doing. He put it all in boxing. How do you say this? How do you say this in the best way? He adopted the full life of a boxer. Like, he went full on boxer. Hired everybody. Hired a coach. Hired a chef. Hired a guy who controls your breathing, I believe. I don't know. This guy literally took it to another level. He fought an athlete, a professional athlete. I don't think no YouTube boxer had ever fought a professional athlete who was amazing. Nate Robinson. He fought Nate Robinson. At that time, it was very YouTube boxing was very new. So we were like, yeah, this kid is a YouTuber. He's never gonna beat an actual athlete who's amazing. He's one of the best. He's one of the best dunkers. So we were like, what is he doing? Even if he's better, he's gonna run out of cardio. And a professional athlete has amazing cardio. They're supposed to be amazing. Like, this kid has no chance against Nate Robinson. Well, Jake Paul showed that he was taking it seriously. He dropped Robinson like a bad habit. He was gone. My man was gone for good. Robinson got dropped. He got destroyed by Jake Paul. We're like, okay, this kid is really good now. This kid is like, he's really taking it seriously. And yeah, just any YouTuber can get it. Any YouTuber is going in for the run for their money if they think they can fight Jake Paul, including KSI. But KSI can still beat him, because he's only fought an athlete. KSI works hard a little bit more, he can beat him. But KSI was not interested in it. He said, "I'll come back to you once I'm done with music." And it wasn't really. I don't think it was an excuse, honestly, because KSI killed it in the music. He absolutely killed it. He's amazing. All he did for music while Jake Paul was boxing, phenomenal. He's grown so much, and he's done a lot for music. And yeah, it wasn't a mistake taking a break for boxing. He really killed it. So good for him. But Jake Paul kept boxing, and after he beat Nate Robinson, it was still, people were still thinking that KSI would win. It was like a 50-50. By that time it was like 50-50. But then Jake Paul says, people don't believe me still. I don't think I'm legit. He goes on to call out UFC fighters. None of them really wanted to fight, or they were asking for too much money. But they all thought they could beat him. And, there's a lot of trash talk until Ben Askren was like, you know what, this guy's going to be light work. And he was saying that it was going to be easy payday. Okay, so Nate Robinson really got under Jake Paul's skin in that press conference. And we saw a weak Jake Paul. He got exposed. So it was like, I was like, this guy is going to fall under pressure. He's going to get in there with the real fighter. He's going to feel the pressure. He's going to say, oh, I should have not done this. And lose to Ben Askren. And that would be the end of Jake Paul. Jake Paul goes back to doing YouTube and never does anything again. and KSI doesn't have to come back. Doesn't have to worry about it. But Jake Paul dropped Ben Askren terribly. He destroyed him. One round. It was not even close to being a fair fight. But also, Ben Askren did not train very well, and I don't know why. He did not take it seriously at all. He thought this kid was just a YouTuber boxer. He wasn't taking it seriously. Well, he found out the bad way. He should have trained harder. I believe even if he really took it a little bit more seriously, he would have still lost. Because Jake Paul showed that he had talent, and he worked hard, and he outboxed him a lot. He was faster. He was better. That everything he had was better. He did not see that coming, and he got dropped terribly bad. He looked terrible. He should never box again. Maybe if he takes it 100% seriously and doesn't have a bad hip. But yeah, he got dropped, and yeah, this was when we were like, oh crap, he's for real this time. But Ben Askren's not that good. So then he actually goes to fight a UFC championship, an old guy who was an actual champion, Tyron Woodley against Jake Paul. And then we're like, okay, this is more for real now. This is going to be a real test. Jake Paul's going to get tested really, really hard. We're going to see if he's actually a fighter this time. We're going to see if he should actually keep fighting, and if he can at least stand. If he beats Tyron Woodley, he can at least survive a few rounds with a professional boxer like Canelo. So it happens, and Jake Paul shows skills. He really showed skills against Tyron Woodley the first fight. He showed that he has heart and that he can get hit really hard and stay like those professional fighters. Any other YouTuber, regular guy would have folded when they got hit, like Tyron Woodley hit him. But he showed that he can stay composed and stay calm in the storm. And he got back in the fight after getting hit like that and still won. So yeah, this guy can stand in the ring with real fighters. He's legit. He's legit. But there's always people who didn't believe it, He did not believe it. And you know what? He was like, you know what? I'm going to fight a real boxer. He calls out my man, Tommy Fury. A real fighter, a real blood of the bloodline of fighting. This is the best. This was the key to proving Jake Paul was a boxer. Like, if you beat Tommy Fury, Jake Paul is a real boxer, and nobody can take that away from him at all. Because Tommy Fury was born to box. His family is a boxing family. This guy trains for boxing. So, if Jake Paul beats this guy, he's legit. Tommy Fury ends up dropping out of the fight. I don't know what he was doing. He's been having so much problems. Ducked. He was scared. I don't know what he was. But Tommy Fury drops out. You know what? Tyron Woodley said, I lost, but our fight was very close. So let's settle it. Let's try this again, and let's see if I can make it not so close. And that is exactly what happened. The fight was not close at all. But not in Tyron Woodley's way. Jake Paul lands an absolutely rocket from downtown and drops Tyron Woodley to the floor. Yes, he really killed it that day. He did. It was amazing. The fight was boring. He was off a bit, but he showed that he can feint and knock out somebody. That's very dangerous. But there's still hate around that. Okay, he's a fighter for real. But can he really beat a professional boxer? Like somebody who dedicates himself to just boxing? And that's still going on. So he tried to call out Hasim Rahman Jr. And he was too big and caught out. Didn't want it no more. So who was next? It was Tommy Fury again, actually. He dropped out again for more excuses. And then Hasim was going to fight him. And he did the same thing. So Jake Paul could not fight an opponent. So people were like, can you give us another boxer who can actually box, and we'll test you and we'll show up on fight night? Jake Paul he had other plans. Instead, he calls out. He didn't call out. Instead, he signed the paper to fight Anderson the Spider Silva. Listen, this guy, he's not a boxer, you know. He's a UFC guy again. He's better than Tyron Woodley. He's a legendary fighter, one of the best UFC fighters to ever live. So we're like, okay, he's one of the best, but he's still not a boxer. But you gotta look at it. Silva whooped Chavez Jr. into pieces. Chavez Jr. lasted 12 rounds with Canelo. So this guy was legit. If he could destroy the guy who lost to Canelo in 12 rounds, this guy will give Jake Paul a run for his money. And I believe Anderson Silva can be looked at as a professional boxer. I think he is a professional boxer because he's very talented and moves like a boxer. And he could have been a professional boxer if he wanted to. So even though people still don't believe it, I think Anderson Silva was his first professional boxer test. I believe that. And it was a really hard fight, you know. It was down the wire. I thought the fight was down the wire. I thought it was 50-50. I saw a draw coming in, but Jake Paul knocks him out in the last round. He got back up, but it was a knockdown. It was scored as a knockdown, and that was what settled the win for Jake Paul. That was it came down to that last round, and Jake Paul was the strongest man in that last round, and he took the win. I thought it was really, really close, but that knockdown in the last round, that's what called it off, and Jake Paul took the win. And I believe he's a boxer now. I believe he's a boxer now. So does this make it really hard for KSI to win? You know, I believe this is almost mission impossible. But I believe this is mission impossible for KSI. But KSI has proven time and time again that nothing is impossible, and I believe that KSI can beat Jake Paul. People might not agree. If they fought today, KSI gets destroyed by Jake Paul. Down the line, I see nothing impossible down the line. I believe KSI could beat Jake Paul down the line. He just needs a few fights, just like Jake Paul did, and I believe that it comes down to the hard work after that, and putting the time in, and really working. KSI fights Dylan Dennis, which I think a Dylan Dennis is like a Ben Askren for Jake Paul. He's taking the same route, sort of, but I believe he's like a Ben Askren, but I think he's 3 times better than Ben Askren. He's going down the same path. KSI is going down the same path as Jake Paul, just in a harder way, in a faster way. He's trying to get to that level faster so he can fight Jake Paul. So he's taking the harder path I believe he's taking a harder path than Jake Paul. If Jake Paul went on to fight Dylan Dennis instead of Ben Askren, it would have been a different path, and he would have been better than he is right now. So I think KSI is taking a harder path and more risk, more reward. I believe he should fight Dylan Dennis. I believe he should fight at least 2 to 3 times, preferably 3 times before that Jake Paul fight. If you can do that before the end of the year, then so be it. It would be great to fight at the end of the year. If not, 2024 also seems good. But yeah, they can build this up, keep fighting a little bit more. And this fight will be one of the biggest pay-per-view fights we've ever seen, outnumbering some of the professional boxers. KSI should fight. He should go down the same route as him, actually. I believe he should. He should go fight a UFC champion, maybe. Or he could fight a low professional boxer. And then after that, he could go for a Tommy Fury or somebody his level. And then once he shows that he can knock those guys out, then the Jake Paul fight is ready to go. And this fight will be amazing. There's no need to rush this fight. This fight will be one of the biggest of the century. I believe that. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this fight is for the centuries. It will be amazing, and we're excited. I'll be excited. I would love to go to the fight if it ever happened. We don't know. We're not 100% that it will happen yet, but I would love to be there. It'll be the ending of the beef. And KSI might not even box after that, so it's gonna be very rare to be there. It's gonna be like kind of a World Cup boxing type of thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think KSI does have a chance, and maybe one day it will come true, and the best man that night will win. Whoever has been putting the most work in, hardest work in for the next couple months, and since they started boxing, it will all come down to that. Who put in more time, and I believe it's 50-50. I believe so, but I want KSI to win. But it's a 50-50. Anything can happen, and whoever wins that fight should get a lot of respect. I think both fighters should get respect no matter what, because they're both stepping in the ring. But whoever wins should really be legit and should be known as the best of influential boxing. All right, guys, let me know what y'all think about this, man. Do you think KSI has a chance against Jake Paul? If you don't believe so, tell me why, or why you think, or if I'm dumb for thinking that. And if you believe that he will win, that KSI does have a chance, tell me why and how and when he should fight him. And yeah, and y'all go ahead and comment down what y'all think, what videos I should make next, and I'll be back soon. Peace.